So a ton of you guys tell me that you come to my YouTube channel to learn about new games that are coming out and to get the drop on maybe some good deals, or to even learn about games from the past that you maybe didn't know about. Well, did you know that you guys also give me lots of different recommendations about games? And I listen to your advice. Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all of my games randomly. And here are $700 worth of stuff I've bought because you have recommended it to me. So let's just dive right in. This first item was announced not that long ago, and I didn't really have an interest in it. I'm not a big handheld gamer. I prefer to play on the TV. But after several of you told me that you play this handheld all the time while your kids are like doing their homework and stuff, I had to get it. It's the PlayStation Portal. Now, I didn't have any interest in this thing, man. It just remote accesses into your PS5 and lets you play. I was like, there's no way this thing's gonna freaking work. Well, guess what? It does work. And it not only works in terms of its ability to play the games, but it works for my schedule. See, you don't realize how much time is spent as a parent and a husband and a two-job working idiot where you're just sitting around for like 5 or 10 minutes waiting for people to like get their shoes on, or someone's like getting dressed, or you know, like let me just finish this last episode of freaking Amazing World of Gumball, we'll head out the door. That kind of crap, dude. You just grab this thing, pop it in. Don't pop it in. You don't pop it in. What am I talking about? The game's already in, dude. You pop it in to your hands and you just play for like 5 or 10 minutes while you're sitting on the couch waiting for everybody else to get ready. I have gotten in more gaming with this PlayStation Portal in the last like 2 weeks than I've gotten in probably in the last 6 months, just in little small increments, because I don't have to come downstairs to the game room and sit down on the couch and like boot up the game. Just leave this thing upstairs and it's just good to go. I love this thing. I'm gonna do a review of this, I think, on my second channel. That's right, I have a second channel. Did you guys know that RNG Gaming is the channel you can go to if you want to see me play games and do things like review consoles like this? The link to that is in the description down below. Head over there. It's a lot different. And if you need more RNG content, well, that's where you can find some. I watched some streamers play this game and I was just enthralled by it. And several of you reached out and told me that it was your favorite game you've played in years, which really hyped me up for it, so I went ahead and ordered it on Amazon. Guess what? It just got nominated for freaking Game of the Year at the Game Awards, alongside like AAA multi-$100 million games. This little indie game from one dude got nominated, and it's Balatro. And excuse this is the Amazon shipping sticker on the front of it. I can't get this off. It's too stuck on, and I'm gonna unwrap this and play it soon, so I didn't worry about it. But what is this game? It's a roguelike deck builder, but instead of using a bunch of like fantasy cards and crap like that, it just uses a standard deck of cards. And you match up different suits and you get flushes and straight flushes and 4 of a kind and 3 of a kind and a full house and all this sort of stuff to rack up points. And in each stage or each level, you have a certain number of points you have to hit to pass the stage. But there are all these like jokers in the game, and these are like your modifiers that maybe give spades like a 10x multiplier or whatever, and you build this deck to try to score all these freaking points, and it just looks ultra intriguing. And I know tons of people that are addicted to it. I have no doubt I'm gonna be addicted to it. I'm gonna burn a gold star on it, and I'm gonna play it right away. I'm just blowing through all my gold stars as fast as I can because I'm so excited about these games. So thank you everyone that recommended this to me. I think the word's out on this game. It looks incredible. This next game has been mentioned to me in several different videos where I talked about like side-scrolling Souls-likes and Metroidvanias. And several different people from Europe have mentioned this game. It wasn't released in the United States, as far as I know. It only came out in Europe, but it is a side-scrolling Metroidvania sort of Souls-like game, and it's called Eterna Noctis. Now, this art is awful. It looks like bad AI art from like 3 years ago, but the reviews of this game are unreal. People say it's like one of the best side-scrolling games that have come out in years. Some people say they don't really like it because it's too challenging or it's too esoteric or whatever. But this looks right up my alley. Not that long ago, I reviewed Blasphemous on this channel and it blew me away. I gave it like a 9 out of 10 and thought it was like a masterpiece, almost level game. And then I look at the reviews on Metacritic and it had like a 70. And the things people hated about it, I really liked. This feels like that kind of game. And I don't know why this didn't get a worldwide release. But thank you everyone for recommending this to me. I had to import it. But I was happy to do it. I had a viewer out there reach out to me like over a year ago and tell me how much he appreciated the channel. And he has communicated with me back and forth ever since. We've become friends. And he wanted to meet up and go game hunting one morning. And we did that. We went game hunting. I took him to a local game store. And while we were there, he recommended a game to me and I picked this stuff up. So let's talk about it. This is called The Hustle Detroit Streets. And this is a PlayStation 2 game. You hustle billiards, you hustle pool, and you rack up money and you compete against a bunch of different rivals. From what I can tell, it's like Need for Speed Most Wanted, but with pool. And that sounds flippin' awesome to me. He said he picked it up and he really liked it, so I had to grab it. It was like 10 bucks. At the same time, I grabbed this. Now, this is Ocean Commander on the Wii. This is a shoot 'em up. It's an uncommon game. It's not expensive. It was actually, the guy just gave it to me at the store. It's just free. This game is like 6 bucks on the Wii. On the PlayStation 2, it's like $1,200. And those are the only 2 releases of it. But it's a kiddie kind of shoot 'em up game. And it looks pretty good. I buy every shoot 'em up I know about. I've been looking for this for years. I've never seen it. I kind of forgot about it. But I did see somebody pick up the PAL release. And I think this only came out on the PAL PlayStation 2. 1,200 bucks at a convention not that long ago. So happy to grab this for free, or it would have been 6 bucks if it wasn't free on the PlayStation. Not the PlayStation, the freaking Wii, dude. The Wii. What is wrong with me? I screw up in like every video and almost say penis. And like every video, I accidentally mentioned penis. Like the last 3 of them, I was trying to say pennies, and I said penis by accident on the Sega Saturn. It is a 10 out of 10 game, worth every penny of the many pennies.
What the hell?
Now, while we were still hunting at the game store, I picked this up. I did not own one. You've all seen this like a million times. I didn't have it, like I said. But I've been picking up tons of light gun games on the Wii, because the Wii is one of the best ways to play light gun games, and it's this Wii freaking light gun zapper thing. You put your Wiimote in here, and you go to town, buddy. That's how it works. But he threw in another freebie, and I was on the fence about this, and the gentleman I was there with, the viewer, convinced me to buy this thing. I was gonna pass it. Pass up on it. Pass up on it? Pass it up? Pass it. Up on pass. It doesn't matter. I wasn't going to get it. They had this for $8. They gave it to me for free. It's the Resident Evil Magnum adapter for, I think, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles on the Wii. It's got this like reload mechanism here that you do with your middle finger, and you just slap your Wiimote in there. Free. I looked it up. This thing goes for 80 bucks. $80, man. It is hefty. I mean, tell me that doesn't look all, it's like the cover of like a Guy Ritchie movie. He would do a scene like this. He'd be like, "Let me tell you right now, I can tell you've got an orange tip on the end of your gun, while mine says 357 Magnum." Or something like that. It's always something like that, right? And of course, this gentleman who was too kind, he bought me lunch. He also gave me this. I passed on this when it originally came out, went up to like a couple $100. They re-released it on the reprint. I also missed out on that, and it's going for more now. But it's the Siberia Collection on the PS3. And this has Siberia 1 and 2 on it. These are adventure games that started coming out back on the Xbox generation. The first one's on the Xbox. And I know the third one came out not that long ago on the PS4. So happy to get this one. I am pumped to play this. I've never delved into this series, but I like a good adventure game when it's not too esoteric. Meaning you're not just running around like trying every item on every other item until something happens. This is supposed to be pretty good. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. So it's been horror month. I've played tons of horror games. I've been on a big horror game kick. I've been buying lots of horror games because they come out usually during October. And it's November now, so they're starting to come in. This game is like, it's like a 2-bit game. It's like an Atari 2600 game. But I had 2 separate people tell me that this was legit. God, it makes me sound like I'm freaking, it's 1996. It's legitimately, it's too legit to quit. No, it's legitimately the scariest game they have ever played. And I had it on my wish list to look out for if it ever came out physically, and it did. It was put out by Fangamer. It's like 50-something bucks after shipping, but it's Faith, the Unholy Trinity. It's a pixel horror game from the era of classic 8-bit gaming. It doesn't even look like freaking 8-bit. Like, I swear it looks like Atari stuff. The satanic scare of the 80s. Use your holy crucifix to perform exorcisms, fight back against possessed cultists. I mean, you see the gameplay. I can't imagine how this would be scary, but the fact that 2 separate people on 2 separate occasions said it was the scariest game they ever played, and that they played a lot of horror games, brother, I was sold, man. I had to get it. It's still up for sale on Fangamer if you want to grab it. Jen from Retro Rivals, a YouTube channel that I love dearly. They support my channel, I support theirs. Said this is one of the best games she played in a while. She recommended it to me. I jumped on Amazon, I bought it right away. But it's Curse of the Sea Rats. Now, I don't like anthropomorphic animals. Whenever I see like a game and it's got like a rat warrior on it, I'm like, I don't want to play that. I don't want to play rat warrior people. I just want to play normal people or as normal rats. Normal rats are fine. Normal people are fine. But rat people, I don't want to do it. However, she said this was so good that I just had to get it. So I did it. I got it. It was 20 bucks on Amazon. And this is a freaking Metroidvania. It's just a Metroidvania. But apparently it has couch co-op on it. So that's cool. Maybe I can play this with my daughter. It's rated E, so maybe that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it says a hand-animated Ratoidvania adventure. See, that like would have put me off of the game. But here we are, Jen. I took your word. I hope this is great. Here's another Europe-only release on the PS5. I think it's Europe only. I couldn't find a like ESRB version of it anywhere. But this is a procedural 2.5 RPG roguelite. It's called Withering Rooms. And several of you guys have told me that this is really good. It's heavy. It's got a full manual in it. I mean, it weighs like a book. It's as heavy as 2 normal modern games with no manual in it. But this game looks so bizarre to me, and just like the crappiness of the way it looks was intriguing to me. I love how like Euro games made in Europe and usually sold in Europe, either look like the most budget crap ever that they just made out of like assets that they got out of like a $15 pack off the Steam store, or they're like the most gorgeous things you're like hand drawn or like watercolor on real canvas scanned in meticulously to create the art. There's no in between. It's either the most budget crap ever or like a spectacle for the eyes. This is one of those, the most budget crap ever looking games, but I hear it's supposed to be just a blast. So I don't really know much about it. I haven't really watched the gameplay footage of this. I just bought it based on the recommendation. So give this one a shot. This seems like something Radical Reggie would like. I don't know if he knows about this one yet, but I'm gonna tag him in this video and let him know that he should take a look at this game. He won't watch my video. Maybe he will. He'll watch them sometimes. Occasionally, you guys reach out to me trying to sell me stuff. Sometimes people want me to buy their entire $80,000 collection. I don't need your $80,000 collection. I'm sorry. I don't have $80,000 sitting around to buy your collection. And even if I did, I would have to flip like 90% of it to get my money back. And you guys know how I feel about flipping stuff. I don't want to do it. Not that I have anything against it, I just don't like the process of like photographing everything and like putting it up on eBay and all that. And I don't want to do all that crap. I don't want to do it, man. I want to play games and make videos. That's what I want to do. I don't want to spend my time trying to make like 500 bucks off a $80,000 investment. Like I don't want to do it, man. But if you guys do have games that I want to buy, I buy them from you, and I try not to haggle. I usually don't. You guys usually offer me pretty good deals, but here are 2 that I bought from a channel member. We have Damnation. Now, I remember this coming out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. It's just a third-person shooter with kind of like a cyberpunk western feel to it. But the one thing I do remember about the reviews of this were that the levels had an extreme amount of verticality. Instead of them being sprawling, like, you know, on the horizontal plane. They're like in a large elevator shaft, it felt like, or something. Like they just go really far upwards. And I think that's kind of cool. I know this isn't a well-liked game, but I think it's kind of in that like hidden gem status sort of game, and that's fine. You know, it was a couple bucks. And to go along with it, I got the last MotorStorm game on the PS3. This is MotorStorm Apocalypse. I forgot this even existed. There's Pacific Rift and the first one. I played the first one, I really enjoyed it a lot, so I'm excited to have all three of these. And this is just like if you've never played the MotorStorm games, they're just racing games, but there's a lot of different types of vehicles. So there's like monster trucks and semi-trucks and, you know, four-wheel drive pickup trucks and like sedans and dirt bikes, and they're all racing together, and they did have different properties, and you're racing over different types of terrains, like road into sand into mud, you know, that kind of stuff. So like the dirt bike's faster, but if you get sideswiped, you die. You know, that kind of game. But this does look fun, and thank you for selling this to me. Everyone recommended this to me, including the internet, just in general. Everybody says this is a great indie game, although I believe it's like developed by kind of like a bigger developer. They just kind of put out an indie game. And I remember there was some controversy because it got nominated for like Indie Game of the Year, even though the developer's worth like $70 billion. But it's Dave the Diver. This is the Japanese anniversary edition, the 1-year anniversary edition. This has English on the cart. I bought this because it had not been announced for release in the United States yet. And sometimes these indie games will get released in Japan and not in the United States, because of like licensing issues, and some indie games only ever come out there. And for some reason I felt like this was gonna be one, and of course after I bought it, it got announced in the United States. But it's the same game, it just has Japanese on the cover, and that's fine. But what is this game? I don't really even know, dude. You just like, what, you fish and then you run a restaurant? Is that what it is? It's like you fish and you run a restaurant. Look at the game. Insert the gameplay footage here, editor. Dear editor, insert gameplay footage and telepathically tell me what this game's about. I haven't really watched any of the footage of it, but I didn't need to. So many people told me it was great, I just believed. And all my shoot 'em up friends out there, all you guys that are into the shoot 'em up community, told me that I needed to check out this game. It was available digitally for a while, but it got put out physically, and I grabbed it. It's Gunvaim. Now, this is put out by NG Dev, and I do not like the games NG Dev has made before. I'm just not a fan of them. They're very flashy, but they're usually not that fun to play. However, as I understand, NG Dev reached out to a world-class shoot 'em up expert in like terms of scoring, and were like, hey, design us your perfect game. The game you want to play more than anything else, and he like poured his heart and soul into this, and they just made it. Like, imagine if a company reached out to you and they're like, you designed the game you've always wanted and we'll make it and put it out. That's basically what happened to this guy. And this game looks incredible. Just absolutely unbelievably good, and apparently it was designed for the Switch from the onset. A lot of shoot 'em ups on the Switch are ported from some other thing like the arcade or the PC or the PS4 or whatever, and they're kind of laggy on the Switch. This was designed for the Switch. Matter of fact, this didn't even come out on the PS4. It's Switch only and PC. So if you like shoot 'em ups, this is like the shoot 'em up that came out this year that's the must-have one. This series I've never played, and a lot of you guys have told me I really needed to play the series, so instead of just buying one game and trying it out, I bought every single game in the series, which there are 5. There are 3 on the PS2/Xbox, and then 2 on the original PlayStation 1. Well, I opted, instead of getting the PlayStation 1 versions, to get the Evercade version of it. And this is The Legacy of Kain and The Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, 1 and 2. But I've never played any of these. I'm gonna dive into them. I'm gonna play them in order. I've heard say that the early ones are almost like Diablo, like an isometric kind of over-the-head hack and slash, but they kind of turn into like RPGs, like action RPGs as they go further along. I'm not sure. But I'm into these Evercade cards, man. These things are cool as hell. So glad to have this one. Thank you for recommending it to me. And I mentioned earlier how I was on a kick trying to get all the light gun games on the Wii. Well, there was one I missed. I didn't even realize it existed. You guys let me know about it, and I grabbed it. I think it really is the last one I needed. It's Target Terror. And this freaking game was like 50 bucks. 50 bucks for a Wii light gun game. It had a GameStop sticker on it. It was 99 cents. Whoever owned it before me bought it for 99 cents and marked it up to $50. That's a 5,000% increase in price. My goodness gracious. But it's supposed to be pretty fun. It just looks like a crime light gun game. Experience the ultimate arcade light gun shooter at home with Target Tier, featuring Justice Mode. They don't say what that is. Well, you have what it takes to step up to the challenge and protect the nation. Buddy, you found the right guy. Leviathan Games and Raw Thrills Games that made this game, who I've never heard of, but it's published by Konami. That used to be a good thing. Now I'm like, it's published by Konami? On the Wii? No! So I played this first game on the PS4. It is a first-person puzzle game that involves light, that has these like underlying philosophical quandaries that it ceases to answer. It attempts to answer. And I really enjoyed this on the PS4. I think I played it about 7 years ago. But the sequel for it came out, published by Devolver. I don't know why, but I missed buying it and I couldn't find it on Amazon. It was going for like 80 bucks on eBay. So I went on PlayAsia to order the PAL version of the game. And I paid 50 bucks for it. But it came in this like beautiful slipcase with like the game and a book. I don't know if this is a strategy guide. It's just an art book. It's 50 bucks. I'm glad to get it, even though it was like double what it should have been. But of course, the week after I bought this, I got notified that it was back in stock on Amazon. It was on sale for $20 for like the US version of it, which has a different cover. But, oh well, $40, that's not too bad. So, really fun games. If you haven't played the Talos Principle games, they're an interesting kind of adventure puzzle game. I can't think of a puzzle game I've played that had such complicated puzzles that I was ever like able to figure out without any help or like getting frustrated. Like it pushes you to the limits, but you always get the answer. Some games like The Witness and stuff pushed me to the limit and I never like got the answer to some of the puzzles. This one I never got stuck. I never had to look anything up, but it did take some effort and I liked that. I like puzzles in games and this does that very well. And speaking of freaking puzzle games, my favorite puzzle game of all time is not Tetris. It's not Luminous. It's freaking Magical Drop. What is Magical Drop? It's a match 3 reverse tile shifting puzzle game. Well, I didn't realize this, but it got a 6th sequel, Magical freaking Drop 6, and it never came out in the United States, as far as I can tell. I think it got a PAL release from Pixel Heart, and it was like 90 bucks, but the Japanese version here has English on it, and it has all the DLC included. I freaking love Magical Drop. I will wreck face on Magical Drop. I wish there were tournaments somewhere in the world. I think I could be pretty good at Magical Drop. But I can like beat it on the hardest mode on arcade, like versus the computer, which is saying a lot. So love Magical Drop. So happy to have this. If you've never played Magical Drop before, give it a shot. It's like Tetris. It's a very fast, like coordination-based puzzle game rather than like a thinking kind of puzzle game. It's like speed chess, but for, you know, idiots. And here are 3 games that got recommended to me many times by many different people. Radical Reggie recommended one. Everybody recommended one of the others. I believe Retro Rivals recommended the third ones, but they put them all on a compilation. It's the Bitmap Bureau collection, and it has Xenocrisis, Battle Axe, and Final Vendetta. Now, I have mentioned that I've been working through this backlog of pickups for doing pickups videos. I have a whole closet full. This crap has been sitting on the bottom of the stack for, I don't know, man, 8 months. And I forgot that I had bought this and that it had Battle Axe on it. And the other day, Radical Reggie reached out to me and recommended Battle Axe. And guess what? I bought it. It just came in the mail the other day. I already had it. I bought it 8 months ago. So I'm gonna be returning this to Amazon. But all these games are supposed to be great. Xenocrisis has come out on every console under the sun. It's like a Smash TV kind of clone. Battle Axe is a over-the-top hack and slash, I believe, and Final Vendetta is just a beat 'em up. But they're all supposed to be pretty decent. But I think Xenocrisis is the one that, you know, sold the package for this. I haven't played any of them. Xenocrisis has come out on every console, like I said, and I haven't bought it a single time. Here's my chance to finally play it. And here's a shoot 'em up adjacent game. This is from a series that's a shoot 'em up, but this is like a behind the back rail shooter kind of game. It's Rainbow Cotton, and as I understand, this came out on the Dreamcast and only Japan, but it was published by NN Games And I got this off flipping PlayAsia, like always. And this is supposed to be pretty decent. The graphics on it are very cute and bubbly, and I do love the Cotton series. As much as I complain about the naming system for these games, it's very hard to keep track of which one's which. There's just Rainbow Cotton, Panorama Cotton, Spectral Night Dreams Cotton, Cotton Rock and Roll, Cotton Fantasy. It's just hard to remember what's what. But we grabbed this. It was just a few bucks, maybe like $30 or something like that. And we got a package from a viewer. Here it is. This is a Moomin themed box. If you guys don't know what Moomin is, it's a comic or a cartoon that's popular in Scandinavian countries, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden. Now, I know this viewer. She's a good friend of the channel. She talks to me in Discord all the time. And she's living in the Netherlands right now, but I mentioned that I had lived in Finland for a while, and I mentioned there's a type of candy that I liked. Guess what? She sent me a whole bag of it. It is very Finnish. Here it is. These are like black licorice cream-filled candies. I love these flipping things. I used to eat them all the time when I was in Finland because I was there studying guitar, and I was just like eating these all day long and practicing guitar, man. I missed them. I haven't had them in 20 years. Hasn't been that long. Oh my God, it has been that long. It's been over 20 years. No!
And me, you know, I'm 56 years old.
Damn! I'm sorry.
Let's read the letter. And this is gorgeous, just gorgeous penmanship. This is stunning. This is beautiful. Dear RNG Gamer, here are some games for you from Finland. 2 are Finnish language games and another 2 are made by a semi-famous Finnish video games company. There are also mint-filled licorice for you. My mom said it's the one she likes, and she normally doesn't like licorice at all. Like a lot of people. Thank you for your videos. Looking forward to the next one. Kind regards, Crystal. From a very warm Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So these games are all Finnish developers or Finnish adjacent. The first one we know is Remedy. They're Finnish, in case you didn't know. They put out Max Payne, and here we have the PAL. This is like their Platinum Hits version of Max Payne. I love these silver cases. I wish we got stuff like this instead of the crap we got. But Max Payne's a great game. We also got this one, Alan Wake. Remedy made this as well. This is the Xbox 360 version of it. Beautiful. And these two, I've never played either one of these, but this is Harry Potter, and this is the, man, dude, I don't know which one this is. The first one, maybe? Or is this the Prisoner of Azkaban? Ja Salisuksin Cameo. There it is. This is super Finnish. This is like, that's what Finnish looks like. That could be one just word. And then Harry Potter, and I don't know what that is either. But it's got the Finnish flag on it. So very cool. Thank you, Crystal, so much for these. I'm thrilled to have them. I think I'm just debating on whether I want to put these on the shelf or if I want to put these with the keepsake collectibles that I have. I think I might put these with the keepsake collectibles. If this is your first time watching my videos and you think I earned it, do that for me pretty please. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. I answer every single one of them, and give me a like. The likes really help with the YouTube algorithm. If you want more people to see my videos, that's the best way to do it. The messages you saw earlier and the names you see on the screen right now, well, those are my channel members and Patreon supporters. They get access to my videos earlier, they get access to member exclusive videos, they can get their names in the videos, and they get access to my Discord. So if you want to do that, the link to that's in the description down below as well. Every dollar goes right back into this channel. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll catch you next week.